And we are live. I'm Nathan Schertz, joined this evening by the one, the only Steve Thompson. We are pleased to bring you the women's basketball opener between your Eureka Red Devils and the visiting Monmouth Scots. The last time the Red Devils were on the floor was up in Rockford when they won their second game of the year. So it should be interesting to see how this goes down. For the starters, we have Yvonne Orleanis, Carrie Dodson, Shane Smith, Maddie Dolman, and Becca Gallus. For the Red Devils, it is Kitty Dura, Kara Gadura, Haley Renault, Lexi Dooley, and Sabrina Clay. Steve, what are you looking for as two players to watch, one on each team, as far as impact players?
Nathan, first of all, thanks for letting me join you this evening.
No problem.
Looking forward to the start of the season, home opener, I guess, for the Red Devils here tonight, kicking off where they left off from last year. What I would say is, as far as Monmouth goes, they get a lot of quality guard play in their first matchup with Augustana. And so I would look for a lot of that, but also I think you'll see a lot of teams this year try to attack us inside, not having the most height, but I would look that way. I would look from Eureka to push the ball up the floor quite a bit and look for some early offense, especially from around the perimeter where they continue to shoot a very good percentage from three. Led by Haley Renault, Kennedy Dura, Sam Sarnes off the bench some. So a lot of perimeter play from Eureka and up and down, trying to play fast.
And we should mention that after with last year you at the helm, leading them to the first tournament in program history, correct? So last year was a good seed. Let's see if they can continue the momentum, which they should be able to do.
Yeah, this is a good early season non-conference challenge for them from a local team that they've played a lot against each other in high school. Maddie Dolman from Monmouth, a young lady that played at Pontiac. Yeah. Ashley Hart's also played at Pontiac a couple years apart. So a lot of familiarities that go across each team, and really excited to see it. And this is a game that hasn't been played for 2 years. So 3 years ago, Monmouth came to town under a different coach. Eureka got the win there, which was fun to watch and fun to be a part of, led by Emily Camden that year from the perimeter, hitting a couple big threes late in the game. So kind of a rivalry renewed right down 74.
And that's something that I've noticed. We've got Monmouth coming to town right now, and then in the middle of the year we have Wesleyan coming to town. So it's a real nice balance as far as non-conference goes of competitive but yet local teams. So it should be fun to watch as we progress. So, giving you the rundown, we will take 5 and see you at tip-off. Again, we have your Eureka Red Devils and the Monmouth Scots in less than 10. See you then. And we are back. Nathan Church joined with Steve Thompson on this lovely November evening. If you are just joining us during the anthem and pregame festivities, starters are Kiergan and Kennedy Dura, Haley Renault, Lexi Dooley, and Sabrina Clay. And for Monmouth, it's Yvonne Orleanes, Carrie Dodson, Shane Smith, Maddie Dolman, and Becca Gallus. Again, as Steve mentioned earlier, this is the first time since 2014 that Monmouth has been to the Christine Benatti Bullwinkle Convocation Center and Arena. And it's the first time since the renovation, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, some of the seniors will get a new look, and it's got to be fun to play it somewhere where you played before, but they've updated the place, so that'll be fun.
I'm sure it was quite a bit different when they walked into the gym from last year or 3 years ago, when the court even went the other way. For example. But,
you rotate the court 180 degrees, and they tend to notice.
Yeah, right. Rip out some bleachers and everything, but very different from their last time, and hopefully they enjoyed seeing the change compared to last time, because I know everyone here at Eureka loves it. So
yes. So as we get to tip off here, it'll be interesting to see. The students are not on campus since the residence hall is closed at 5 o'clock on Friday. So it's a lot of the athletes and parents here. So there's not a whole lot there is no student section to speak of. But it should be a high energy, high intensity game. And here we go.
Yeah, there happens to be a lot of students dressed as chairback seating behind the hoop there.
Yep. So we get the first look at the Monmouth offense here. Number 23, that is Maddie Dolman.
That's Becca Gallus. Found herself wide open from three there. Bad rotation from Eureka on the help defense.
But it's early.
It is early.
With the steal is number 32. That is Becca Gallus. Pushing the ball up. And my play-by-play partner for volleyball, Haley Renault, no good on the layup.
Offensive rebound by Kerrigan Dura. And they'll retain possession with a long three from Haley Renault. That's good.
3-3. I think you're going to see a lot of that out of the corners from especially Haley Renault.
Eureka changing it up to a 2-3 zone here on this possession.
Look inside, no good. From long range, no good is number 4. That is Yvonne Orleanes.
Knocked out of bounds. Eureka will take possession.
So Kerrigan Dura takes the ball up. Steve, talk to me a second as that is number 34. That is Lexi Dooley. Talk to me about the NCAA and a nice steal by number 3, Kennedy Dura, and block. Talk to me a bit about the NCAA. A few years back, went to quarters in women's games. How do you think that? I mean, how do you think that? Do you think that helps the pace of play, or?
I do think you've seen a little bit more offense when they made that change with 4 quarters. They've also changed it up to where 5 fouls in a quarter is a double bonus, no more 1-and-1. So you're starting to see teams attack a little bit more, trying to get into that double bonus and give you some more scoring opportunities. The other thing it does is follow a lot with the international game and women's basketball, trying to be a little more exciting and directed to fans and get people engaged. I think you see that. I think the other thing,
Lexi Dooley, no good. Sorry, keep
no,
going.
You're fine. It gives teams with a little bit of less depth the opportunity to play less. So we had success last year playing 8 to 9 girls. consistently. Some of them averaging 35, 38 minutes a game because of the quarter break. And then there you had a nice kick out to 14, Shane Smith for 3. And so I think it has helped the women's game of just getting some more points. You're seeing the better players play longer minutes. And so depth doesn't rule teams out as quickly. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the change from my second year of coaching to my third year. So,
could you see a men's going to quarters, or do you think they're going to stay halves?
There's not a lot of talk about it, so I would be surprised if they did. It does match up then with the NBA, so I'm sure there's always a conversation that to match the professional game and to move that way. But there's no great conversation around it right now.
Yeah. Ooh, and a little airmail there. So, number 12, that's Carrie Dodson. Airmails the overpass. As we look at the life stats here.
3 early turnovers for Monmouth.
And a steal by number 14. That's Shane Smith. 3 early turnovers, you were saying?
Yeah, 3 early turnovers for Monmouth. It's kind of taking them out of their offense as they just threw that one over the press earlier and out of bounds. And there's another toss just out of bounds. Something Eureka can take advantage of, putting a little pressure, making them make tough passes.
Yeah. We got to keep in mind it is the 3rd game of the season, so you get the freshmen and transfers involved, and there's always going to be a little bit of a learning curve, as they say. So
it's the second look from Eureka into the post, a push in the back there. But it's good to see them looking to go inside a little bit.
Yeah, because there is no real significant height to speed of on either team, honestly. But banging around inside when you're a smaller player is always fun.
Well executed out of bounds play there for an easy layup from Renault. Monmouth comes right back in transition with a 3.
That's 22. 22 is Carly Trumbull. I think Monmouth likes to go from distance a lot, just from the early and a block. Monmouth, as I was saying, likes to go from distance. Don't necessarily know that that's their bread and butter. It's not a true Grinnell style, but that we will see later.
Yeah, no, as I mentioned earlier, I think they're not afraid to shoot it from the perimeter, and I think you'll see a lot of shots from 3 today, especially if we're playing a little bit of zone. That I think we're acknowledging that we'll give up the occasional 3 as well. So.
Yeah. So, about halfway through the first quarter, it is Eureka 7, Monmouth 6. Really fast-paced played game here in the early going here.
Batters then.
In my office, the second drawer down.
Number 40. That is Sabrina Clay. Nails it. And I don't know if you heard it at home, but Eureka is a school of many talents. So
it's a nice steal from Kennedy Durr, transition.
Yep.
With a good finish from Haley Renault. And we're going to get a timeout from Monmouth.
Yep. So Steve's playing commentator and AD tonight. Kind of fun to play. Do a little bit of both, I'd assume.
I was kind of hoping to sit here and nobody'd bother me for the next 2 hours,
but that's all right. Oh. So you've seen what you think. You brought it up earlier. They're not afraid to shoot from distance, and it's nice to see them, the Red Devils, banging around inside. Do you, out of this timeout, do you suspect any big changes? more of the same?
You know, I'd assume a lot of that conversation was just protecting the basketball from Monmouth. 5 turnovers, 7 of our points off turnovers. That's hurt them tremendously early on. From Eureka, I think you're just going to see him continue to attack up the court.
Yeah. So, digging around. Nice intro pass there to no avail. Ooh, Sabrina Clay gets called for the foul there. Not exact. That's up to interpretation. That is number 10. Who would that be? Let me get the full roster here. Number 10 is Ashley Harf. Coming off the bench for Eureka, who's the 6 and 7?
You're going to see quite a few minutes from Ashley Harfs there, number 10 that just entered the game. Sophomore from Pontiac, and then Sam Sarnes will probably be the next, the second one off the bench from junior from Havana. I think a lot depends on who comes off first, is fouls and who's in trouble. You're going to see Ashley play a lot of the 4 or 5 spot. And then Sam would be filling in at one of the guard spots. So with Sabrina's early foul there, I think it was to get her out of the game and get Ashley some early minutes.
And appears to be a pretty tight game called on both sides. Thought she had a good look there, but to no avail, so that's... Ashley Harf's looking to go inside, but gets the foul. And Haley Renault, is that her third 3 of the game? Second 3?
That's
pass.
A nice steal off their press again with another 3 from Haley Renault.
Two back-to-back threes there. Thank you. So that's
Slow.
That's a little slow. Our life stats indicate that she's 3 of 4. And we have about as close to a line change as you're going to see in basketball. So we'll get that. We'll get those for you as we can.
And Sam Sarnes is going to enter the game now for Carragandura.
Yep. Goes 3 for 3. Nope. Ooh. Tip ball. Can't quite get the rebound there. Something tells me we're going to see that. Something tells me we're going to see those five team fouls in the quarter before the night's over.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some double bonus action here.
And it's like one of those pitchback machines there for a while.
That's one as a post player. You like to get several offensive rebounds before you score it. So it's a stat stuffer kind of.
Bad the stats. Looks like Haley Renault goes for the good old-fashioned Euro step there, but to no avail, so she'll take 2 from the line. Number 32, Becca Gallus, back into the game. See who she tags out. and that is number 14, Shane Smith. Eureka by eight here early. Make that 9. I think Eureka's defense and turnovers on transition have really kind of thrown Monmouth out of their rhythm.
I mean, I'm sure Coach Wilson at Monmouth is going to have a little chat about their 6 turnovers and Eureka's 10 points off those turnovers, including those back-to-back threes from Renault there a few possessions ago.
You can definitely tell she's got an itchy trigger finger from distance, so that'll be fun to watch.
That last shot got a little bit of an eye roll from her dad.
Yeah.
That's going to be a conversation around the Thanksgiving dinner table on Thursday. It's great help defense with a good rebound.
But in that situation, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. So. Ooh.
We're going to have our chance to go to the double bonus here, Nate.
Yep. It's kind of, because I played wheelchair basketball for 12 years, and it's kind of, we'll get back to this after the free throw. It's kind of interesting to see how each referee individually calls a game. Because when you're playing with the same refs for 10, 12 years, you kind of get to know them. So
you start to get to accustom how they're going to let you play and what they're going to call.
And I think that same can be said for able-bodied basketball too. No, it's a bit bigger pool, but.
No, but I would agree with you. You start to see a lot of the same people as you go around year in and year out.
Number 22, Carly Turnbull gets the mid-range jumper there. Very technique savvy game is going to be played tonight. Anyhow.
So you played 12 years of wheelchair basketball.
Yes, sir.
Still played a little bit or no?
Haven't gotten back in the saddle in 3.5 years now.
Got to find a reason to do that again.
Yeah. But that's always an option post college career.
Right.
No good. But the rebound and putback is good. And the and one. Did you see who that foul was on?
I'm not going to sure if they're going to call that on Lexi or Kerrigan on this one. That's going to go on Kerrigan Duro.
Yep.
That's her first foul.
Ooh. Yep.
That's going to be her second, I believe.
Yep.
On Lexi Dooley.
You could hear the contact on that one all the way over here, so you know that's going to get called. Number 12, Carrie Dodson makes 1 of 2. Double bonus. She gets the second one for free.
So this lineup Eureka has in now I think could be pretty exciting to watch. You basically have 5 guards on the floor. Ashley Harf's going to play the posts. And you pretty much got 4. Anybody who can step out can shoot it. Presents a lot of matchup problems if they can defend in this same lineup.
Yeah.
There's a nice backdoor layup from a pass from Kerrigan to younger sister Kennedy with a nice left-handed layup on that possession.
That's playing with your younger sibling, it's got to be go from the driveway to D3 games. That's got to be kind of special. And the
2 great possessions, and another layup from Renault.
Clock here, maybe.
I think the shot clock froze, or they just didn't blank it out. They had it reset to 30 because it was under 30 seconds.
Okay.
And instead of blanking out the shot clock, they left it at 30.
So minor technical difficulties there. I think you're going to see a lot. I think you might see 8 and 9 coming off the bench before this is all over.
Yeah. It tightened up over the last 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. So we can channeling the inner Steph Curry. Haley Renault from long range doesn't get it. So after a quarter, it is Eureka 26, Monmouth 19. Again, if you joined us in the middle of that quarter or just now, you really missed kind of a nice series of offensive possessions from both teams. Especially not trying to be a homer here, but Eureka had back-to-back possessions there that were just like you practice in practice. Honestly, I mean, it was really nice to see. In the story for Monmouth, in my opinion, is the turnovers. Can they get the offensive turnovers toned down in transition? I don't know if you have anything to add to that, or what you think?
I would agree with you. I think when they've had a chance to play half-court offense and not turn the ball over, they've had some good possessions. But those 6 turnovers that have led to 10 points for Eureka, definitely the difference. Percentage-wise, Monmouth 7 of 19, shooting just a shade under 37% this quarter. And Eureka's 9 of 18 at 50%. So the difference being the turnovers. Eureka getting some easy layups and some open threes off those turnovers to create some separation.
And as Steve noted earlier, it did tighten up over the last 3 minutes of that quarter. So even though the Red Devils went out to an early 10-point lead, it's back down to 7 now. But it's been a lot more closely contested, in my opinion. Get some table technical work figured out here, and we are back. Number 22, Carly Turnbull, going for the pickoff. And Kennedy there with the
Kennedy with the steal, comes down with a nice pass to Lexi Dooley for another layup in transition. That's 2 more points for Eureka off turnovers.
Yep. You know, we just came out of football season. You ever thought about? You ever thought of defense in basketball being basically cornerback drills sometimes? going for those pickoffs.
There's another three for Haley Renault.
And that makes her 4 for 8, I do believe. If the stats catch up. Tip drill, and Ashley Hurst takes it coast to coast. Nope. Back to back for Haley Renault.
If you haven't heard this tonight, another three for Haley Renault. That's
Yeah.
the second time there's been back-to-back threes for her tonight. And that second one again is off a turnover.
Yep. Feels like a, I don't know if track meet's the right word to use here, but more like a cross country, kind of a slow and steady pace of sprints up and down the court. And a little off from Ashley Hurst there. And she gets the foul.
Red, act like you want to be here. Let's go.
You know, from a player's perspective, even if it's not a good shot, if you know you can get contact in a game like this, you take the shot. That's from my own personal experience. As we have a timeout here, and I'm not harping on the officials, but it's just an observation that it's a real tightly called game here, which is honestly kind of fun to watch, because watching teams adjust to it, your defense has to be a lot more, don't want to say hands off, but hands off. I think it'll be even more interesting to watch after halftime. I don't know. What do you think in regards to that?
Yeah, I think this next 7.5 minutes is pretty critically important. Eureka's up 34-21. Monmouth's second timeout of the half. Need to get some better offensive action from them and not turn the ball over, giving Eureka those extra opportunities. So I think depending on how this next several minutes go, could set the tone for that second half.
Yeah. Through the mic, since I had the mics on, I couldn't hear exactly what they were saying. So, Haley Renault. I think you could officially say she's feeling the touch tonight as far as shooting goes. As she is. Kick out. And no good. Rebound by Allie Myers. And gets called for the walk.
Renault with 26 already tonight. 3 minutes into the second quarter.
And with a bit of authority, Ashley Harfs goes and gets 2.
Run up, run it.
And is answered by number 20. That is Demi Johnson. Trading blows.
This is what I expected to see from Eureka, getting the ball up and down the floor.
Run it, swing it, swing it. Reverse it.
The and one will be taken by number 12. That is Carrie Dotson. And Lexi Dooley Lexi Dooley now has 3, if I heard that correctly.
Go you have, Brad. Let's go.
And Allie Myers gets the second. Stepped out of bounds. Did Sabrina Clay. So, see if Monmouth can get something actually set up here on offense.
Keep going, keep going.
I think you got a bit of contrasting styles here. Eureka seems to be get it up, get it down, make it run. And Monmouth, it seems to be key for them to actually run a play. So that's kind of fun to watch. From distance is number 22, Carly Trimble.
Straight up, straight up.
Going for the rebound, Sabrina Clay gets called for the foul.
This is going to be a situation where Abigail Hilton, who's been out with injury for the first half of the year, they don't have a lot of depth in the post, and with both Sabrina Clay and Lexi Dooley with 3 fouls, they're going to go back to that smaller lineup where Ashley Harf basically defends the 5 spot, and they play with a lot of guards around the perimeter.
Be fun to watch. And since basketball on both men's and women's is a long season, injuries do play a key role. So it'll be interesting to watch how teams adjust to teams, especially as we get into conference play. I mean, non-conference games are fun, but conference games are where the key is. And another foul. That's Allie Myers on the foul. So Ashley Harps gets the free throws. So I know it's looking ahead a little bit here, Steve, but the women are taking a trip to Ohio.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that area.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's your old stopping
It's like the former coach set that up, huh?
Yeah.
And then he left.
So it's we saw the men do that. They went North Texas to Chicago. It's not as far of a.
No, it's only about a 7.5-hour drive, and we'll play Worcester, which is my alma mater. And that was really the driving force behind it, just a chance for me to go home, and we'll have a surprisingly large contingent of fans there.
Yeah.
Because you can count on my whole family to show up.
Yeah.
And so we decided to make a trip of it. The Pro Football Hall of Fame being about 30 miles away from Worcester, and then having a chance to go into Columbus. We'll play Muskingum as well, and maybe get a stop at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And just kind of create a unique trip for the young ladies.
That's cool. The thing that I was gonna off of that is, here when I was recruited here by Coach Kendane, it was a D1 experience at a D3 level. So, you get to go on a 2-game road trip like that. That's kind of a true D1 experience like that.
It really is. It's over break, so they're not missing any class or anything like that. But they're going to have an opportunity to stay in hotels for several days and kind of be as a team together. I think that's important, just from team building and spending quality time together and enjoying each other's company. Helps to grow as a team.
Yeah. And
That's Sam Sarnes from 3 in transition, stepping up at the top of the key and hitting a nice bucket there.
Smart. Be smart.
Eureka up to a 13-point lead here. Yeah, my math's right.
Go for it every time, Carol. Let's go.
I think an interesting. I'll wait till the free throws and I'll bring it up. An interesting note here is points in the paint. Monmouth only has 10. Eureka has 18.
A lot of those coming from our layups and
Yeah.
fast break points.
And fast break points, 11 for Eureka to Monmouth's 0. So it's really just turned into a
Straight up, E. Straight up, E.
as the Sam Sarnes, can she get another one? Nope. So number 20, Demi Johnson brings the ball up to try to get something going here for Monmouth.
Swing it.
And look good, but goes for the long ball.
The full court baseball bounce pass might not have been the most recommended pass there, but Monmouth knocks it out and Eureka retains possession.
That's one of those things that you look at film, I mean, or a parent, you ask why, but
I
it's
see former men's basketball coach Dave Darnell up there scratching his head a little bit about that pass, but I wouldn't blame him.
but from a player's perspective, you see that. and Ashley Harps gets it the 3. But from a player's perspective, you see those opportunities like that, and they may not be the most recommended, but they look cool because that's what they do on the pros. You
Right.
know? I'll admit to that.
When it works, it looks great.
Yeah.
When it doesn't, it goes out of bounds.
Go back up.
And Kennedy Dura gets the 3. She gets it and 1.
Having not done this before, is there any truth to the free chalupas if Eureka gets to 100 points tonight?
I mean, you're
Probably should talk to the AD.
Yeah, you're the AD. I mean, seems like an AD question. I mean, we're halfway home.
Right.
It could happen.
Go, Red. Set it up.
Maybe that 5% off at the bookstore. Since they did do something like that for football.
There you go.
Hey, that's just marketing. As number 22, Carly Turnbull gets the 3. So as we tick under a minute here,
Attack, attack.
real. Ooh. Somebody's gonna get called with a foul. I don't know who. Ten. That would be Ashley Harps, right? Yep.
Yep.
as we tick under a minute here, though, it's Eureka really kind of we've been sitting here talking and have run out to a 15-point lead here late in the first half. Really just kind of doing what we thought they'd do. From the coach and you, what adjustments, if you're Monmouth, do you make at halftime?
You keep harping on it a little too much, but I think, again, it's the turnovers. They've had some good offensive possessions when they're playing in the half court. And look to pound it inside a little bit more with Eureka's 2 post players in foul trouble. And then defensively, they got to get back. Got to get back on defense, guard out to the perimeter. You've seen them give too much space to the shooters from Eureka, so that's critically important.
Yeah. And if you're Coach Arbogast, what do you keep doing what you're doing, or do you try to tighten some things up?
Yeah, I think you always want to tighten things up, especially in these early season games. But I think the strategy of pushing the ball up the floor, looking for early offense, has been productive with some nice backdoor layups, some threes in transition. As they look to push it out here again. I think continue to do what's working. It's gotten you 57 points so far tonight. It's the old saying, dance with the lady that brought you.
Yeah. We can expect Monmouth to maybe hold for the last shot. And they do. Do they kick it out?
That's going to put her over the 30 mark for
yeah,
the half. That's 31 points for Renault at the half. Absolutely impressive first half performance. 6 of 10 from 3, 10 of 16 from the floor. Just very impressive and a great way to end a half to go up 20.
If we haven't touched on it, it is 60-40, and Haley Renault has just over half of the Eureka College offense. So I'll try to find her career high. Do you know that by chance?
I do not. I'm sure Director of Media Relations extraordinaire Brian Moore will let you know, and I think he's going to join you for the second half.
Oh, he is? Cool.
So you can run me out of here. Send your complaints to Nathan Shirts at eureka.edu.
But anyhow, so if Brian's going to take over, I just want to say thank you for joining, and maybe we'll have to do it again.
Hey, maybe we'll do it again.
So, again, Eureka 60, Monmouth 40. We will be back in about 10 minutes, apparently, with Head of Media Relations, Brian Moore. Again, Nathan Shirts with Steve Thompson from the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Convocation Center in Eureka, saying we'll see you in a few. See you later. And we're back. I am Nathan Schertz. And if you're just joining us for the second half, it's been a shootout. The real storyline here has been Haley Renault and her 31 points. The Red Devils are shooting 60% from the field in the first half. So it's been fun here in the first half. And for those of you that have been with us from the first half, I do believe the one, the only, the Eureka AD, Steve Thompson, will be joining us for the second half. So we'll catch his ear about this game as well as the men's game that comes later. That will be myself and Jason Zimmerman. So, as we get ready here for the second half, should be an interesting half. And the thought is true. He's back.
You are apparently stuck with me for the game.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So, I was just talking about how the real storyline has been Haley Renault and her 31 points, as well as Eureka College and their 60% from the field. So, and for Monmouth, it's really been the turnovers. And I know we've kind of beaten a dead horse in the first half, but that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, you're not really going to lose a lot of games when you're shooting 60% from the floor, especially when you're shooting 59% from three, and you've taken 17 of those, so you're 10 of 17 for the half.
So we got a bunch of halftime stats, or we got a bunch of quarter stats, but I could look them up on my computer. As far as, like we've said, Kennedy Dura has 10 points, Ashley Harps has 6, Haley Renault has 31, Kerrigan has 2 points, and Sabrina Clay has 3. I think the subplot here is going to be fouls too. For Eureka, I mean, Sabrina Clay has 3 fouls, along with a couple others. So here we go.
Just for this game. Just trying to have a little fun, you know. Pays to be the boss.
So let's see what we can do here.
Eureka will start the ball with the ball the second half.
See what they do here out of the gate. Comes down hard, does Ashley Harris, and gets the jump. So that'll be Monmouth ball. So for this women's team, let's talk. That's a charge.
Eureka coming out in a 2-3 zone to start the half. Monmouth gets some penetration right down the middle and barrels into Ashley Harsh for the offensive foul.
I don't think that was a teach you how to fall. That was an actual get kind of run into there. But anyhow, in your mind, what's the game of the year for this Red Devil women's team?
You know, I just the conference season is so important for Eureka. It's hard to put it on one game. I think the matchup with Illinois Wesleyan creates some excitement. We talked earlier about the Interstate 74 games, and Monmouth and Knox, and now adding Wesleyan this year will be pretty exciting to have here at the arena. But then you get into the conference schedule, critically important week in and week out.
Because it is a grind, and when you get into conference, everything should be well-oiled and ready to roll. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, next Tuesday is a big conference game with Greenville that really will set the early season tone on the conference slate. Not just for Eureka and Greenville, but I think just kind of, depending on the outcome, set the tone for who's really feared. Is Greenville, being picked first in the conference? Are they really the first, or kind of like last year where Eureka wasn't picked to do very well and kind of came out of nowhere? I think that could be a good early season matchup for the Red Devils.
And remind me, it's been a national story. I mean, the Greenville men run that Grinnell offense. Is it the same on the women's side?
No, the women are more traditional. They'll pound it inside. They have two tremendous post players, probably some of the best in the league. So they'll look to pound it inside, whereas the men's team, just gets up and down, shoots a lot of threes. Yeah. Really a brand of basketball, as everybody calls a track meet. They'll look to score. I think last year we lost 147 to 144 down there in overtime, and that buzzer beater from half court made ESPN top 10. So it's a very different brand of basketball. Yeah. The Grinnell style from Grinnell College out of Iowa. Dave Arsenault's the creator behind that, has been there for a long time. And has had success in that Midwest Conference, the same conference Monmouth plays in. Their men's team familiar with that style of play, defending it and playing against it.
And can't quite get the hand out there for the turnover. And gets a foul.
That's going to be her fourth. You're going to see Lexi Dooley come in real quick for Sabrina there.
I hate to say it, but I think Sabrina Clay will be sitting till the fourth quarter, probably, with 4.
Yeah, I think you sit her unless something happens where it starts to get close.
Yeah.
But as long as it stays around 15 to 20 points, I don't think you're going to see them panic to go to the bench too early with somebody in foul trouble with 4 fouls in the third quarter.
And the mid-range jumper there. 4-2. 42-62. Don't know. I
think the bucket was good there. The foul was on Kennedy Dura. And number 14, Shane Smith, will go to the line shooting 1.
Beat him up the floor every time, Shane. Let's go. Come on, Jimmy, you got this.
In the quest for free chalupas, I don't know that that's going to, after the first 4 minutes.
The scoring has significantly slowed for both teams here in the third quarter.
Yeah. Hands up.
And rims out, no good.
That's a 3 for Monmouth in transition for Demi Johnson, the junior from IBC.
Let's go, Brad. Hands up.
Well, let's see here. IBC and Pontiac, I believe, are in the same conference. Tremont, you look at this, you look at these two teams, and the vast majority, and the timeout to break the tempo. For Eureka, they're all from Illinois. for Monmouth, California, Arizona. So, do you think you? I mean, it's D3. You can't really recruit people too far from home. But do you think there's something to be said for a team of all in-state players like you've got in Eureka?
I think you said it first. You're going to recruit from wherever you can get them. So Eureka's had a benefit of really recruiting with their women's program here, relatively within that 90-mile radius. You look across the roster, a lot of them are relatively local and had success with that.
Yeah.
Monmouth is a team that's been down a little bit, and they need to broaden their kind of recruiting circle a little bit to go find some different players. So you have a starter from California, for example, and sometimes it's just lucky. You have something that you offer as a school, as an institution, that somebody's attracted to, whether that's a major, a different experience. Like our exponential learning experience, I think, is a unique niche for us as we go out on the recruiting trails for all our programs. And you've seen us with some successful student athletes with other programs. Trevor Ziebert out of Chicago, being a Reagan scholar, that's what attracted him to Eureka. Emily Camden, a local girl that really wanted to get into the student life area. Mike Sane, a men's basketball player from Columbus, Ohio.
But he's legacy for that. But
yeah, legacy is important too. People want to follow their parents or follow their siblings. Kennedy and Kerrigan Dura, perfect example of that. Kennedy was a big recruit we got largely because she wanted to continue to play with her sister. So
Shay and
Sam and Shay Feehan, another perfect example. The Vance brothers on the football team were twins that wanted to come from Havana.
The Barth family.
Kurt recruiting his nephews was critically important to some success with Ryan, the offensive lineman of the year in the UMAC. But then Drew Barth also playing really well in the NCAA playoff game this year, coming off the bench at the quarterback position in that game.
And I have always thought about this in D3 that, it's kind of a local all-star team of sorts. But it's just kind of cool to see. And can she get? Nope, she can't get the end one.
Yeah, I think where you've seen the success from our teams here recently, the women's program last year, the football team this year, and even our men's program, who's had some success. It's with local kids, and then you kind of get that mix of kids that aren't local that you start to pull in. So Lexi Dooley, for example, is from Warsaw, Sutter, Illinois.
Yeah.
So a little bit farther away. She blends well with the local kids here. As the only starter of the five that aren't from, within that 90-mile radius. The football team having success with the bars. Colin Brown from Nevada. But the Ryan Bars of the world, Ray Vogel from Limestone, those local guys, and then you get some folks from outside of that area to really support the local kids. It's been great to get some of that coverage, media coverage we've gotten with our football program, with our women's basketball program last year, and we're starting to get with those same men's and women's basketball program this year.
Yeah. And
the media wants to cover local kids, and that's important for us to continue to be successful. Because moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas want to see their kids in a newspaper. So we try to do that and try to get names out there with our success that we've been fortunate enough to have over the last couple of years.
Nope, but the offensive rebound gets it done. A little bit of a resurgent there for Monmouth here in the third quarter. And at 22, that is Carly Turnbull. Had 2 fouls now. With the finger roll, Sam Sarnes gets 2. So, board and Dura almost good there. And 2 shots coming up. Nope. Yep. Kept 2 shots coming up here for.
Gotta be smart, Red.
Sinks the first of 2. Kennedy Dura now with 14 points. Sam Sarnes with the interception there, and Haley Renault gets 2 more. Maybe.
It's her first 2 of the half. She's now at 33 points.
You know, I might retract my statement on the quest for 100. And the look back, Ashley Harvst goes up, hits the back of the backboard, but gets 2.
Let's go, Demi.
Real impressive from Djibouti and the men's team. What was that, last Wednesday when they scored 120-ish?
Yeah, last Wednesday, I want to say it was 117, but right around that
Yeah.
120 mark. They're going to be fun to watch offensively. I think you can expect a lot of points from them. They'll play a lot from the perimeter as well. You'll see that tonight with both Shea and Shea Feehan and Hank Thomas.
Ooh. Bodies flying everywhere there.
That had to be entertaining to watch. Somehow with Sam Sarnes picking it up to throw it to Kennedy Dura, who's still on the ground. A lot of bodies lying around there.
War zone.
After an early 9-2 run to start the half for Monmouth, Eureka's pushing it back up to 18 points here with a chance to put it back to 20. Kind of responding to that surge from Monmouth starting the third quarter.
Rims up back iron there. Tia Robinson with 4 fouls now. Or no, 2 fouls. Sorry, 4 points, 2 fouls. That was my bad. And
You're forgiven.
1 of 2.
It's nice to know that you're the only one that's messed up on this broadcast.
Take it out of my paycheck. Turnover there by Monmouth. Sam Sarnes. Back to Haley. Off center. Somersaulted. And foul on. Who was that on?
That foul was on Haley Renault.
Yep.
She crashed hard off her missed shot there.
Can she? Nope. Off a side iron there. That's a white ball. They will have to shoot it before the quarter break. 7-second difference there.
It's the old NBA style, 2 for 1. Hurry up and shoot one, and so you get a second possession here.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to take that approach, though.
Nah. Especially up by a fair amount.
By 19, yep.
Bit of a spike rebound there. Man, Haley is just falling all over the place.
Now I think
today.
you're going to see Eureka, unless they get a layup off this out of bounds, try to hold for the last shot.
Yeah.
I'm sure they won't turn away a layup if that opportunity presents itself.
They'll be on at 11.
Or we're going to shoot some double bonus
Yeah.
foul shots here.
22, that is 3 fouls now on Carly Turnbull. And makes 1 of 2. And 50% for the line on those two right there. Dives on the ball. Ooh. Some hand fighting there with 0.2 seconds left.
That's a tough foul with 0.2 seconds left. You're going to send them to the line for 2.
Allie Myers.
Just a little bit of a scrap there. It happens, but
Yeah. So, after 3, it is Eureka College 77 and Monmouth College 58. Nathan Schertz having the unique and very pleasurable opportunity to sit and watch a game with the one, the only Steve Thompson, who was at the helm of this team last year, but stepped down to look after the athletic program as a whole. So let's talk about that for a second now that we got a few minutes here. The pool closing. That happened over the summer.
correct.
What's the timetable for the new weight room?
Great question. You know, over the summer we did move the weight room temporarily into the pool deck area and did some minor renovations so we could have that space for our student athletes and for our students in general. That space is open.
Yeah.
So they had a space closer to the dorms, all that
Yeah.
previously. You know,
Because the shed was a unique experience, but
the great name for it, the shed. But getting out of there and getting it back to where our athletes spend their time was important. So we were able to do that quickly. And that's a big reason of me stepping back was to focus on those projects that we need to take care of. So we'll be going out here right after the holiday to start doing some fundraising and trying to focus on that, getting that completely filled in, and presenting that space for our students to use. Ideal world, I'd love to say we're going to do it next summer. I don't think it's a next summer project.
Okay.
But as soon as the money becomes available and we find the support from our generous friends and alums and
Gotta
former
love
student
the
athletes
alums.
is important. You know, everything we've done here has been,
yeah.
in my 3.5 years, has been off alumni participation and donations and supporters.
And in those 3 years, you've seen a new court, a new gym, a new arena, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
A new football field. So now I don't want to say now the last part of that will be the new weight room and real just performance center, because talking to Mike Murtaugh over the summer, it's going to be more than just a weight room.
It's definitely going to be more than a weight room. We want a space, and we've seen this for the success of our teams, is how important the weight room is and conditioning stuff is that our student athletes participate. So we want to create the right space. You also said, it's kind of the last project. I don't think that's the last project at all. We still have a lot of work to do. We can do Coach Rashid, the new baseball coach, has gone out and done tremendous things with replacing the infield, replacing the warning track to make Henry Sand Field be a place where student athletes are proud to play there. We've done a little bit of work on the softball field as well and continue to do that this fall. Try to finish that here in the next few weeks. So those projects are still ongoing, and we still want a lot more to do. But that weight room performance center is going to be important because we want to be able to do the agility stuff. We want to have a place where our baseball and softball team can put a cage and they can use it year-round. Not traditionally it's been here in the arena, and really want to get that out of our arena. You're looking around, and they don't put it up till over Christmas break, so it's not up right now. We take it down every year for graduation. But we want to get that out of here. And give them their space that they can train in the cold months. The turf will help that because it gives our baseball and softball programs a place to go when it's nice out, but maybe the field's filled with water or whatnot. But they can still get out there, take some fly balls, take some ground balls off the turf, and really be that space that they can continue to get better during the winter months as well.
Yeah.
And Matt Friend, our strength coach, does a tremendous job with that. His brother, Chris Friend, who's graduating here in December, was a football player.
Yeah.
Has done some internship work. We have about 5 other students that are interns for Matt that work out with our teams and support them and their growth as student athletes. But Chris Friend, it's exciting. He's going to work for Ohio State in January as an intern for Ohio State. So
is he going to GA that or just a pure intern?
It's just a pure intern is how they run their program. It's a 1-year deal with the option to become potentially be a full-time position or continue on as an intern, which will provide so many open doors for him.
Yes.
That it's great, and his experience at Eureka is the one that helped make that happen. So exciting to see from such a great young man. And I've already asked him for tickets to Michigan, Ohio State next year after Thanksgiving. So
I was just going to ask that. Side note, as Steve was giving you a rundown there, Sabrina Clay has fouled out with 5.
Coach Arbogast, that's one thing he's really going to have to work on, is working with Lexi and Sabrina to make sure they stay out of foul trouble throughout the game, so they're available in the 4th. Hopefully not needed today, but extending the game for these student athletes is important, and Sabrina having put in about 9 minutes today will be well rested for their.
They are off until
I think next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Is that Milliken next Tuesday? No, Monday. I lied.
Monday. Coach Arbogast is telling the team to just play. Just let the fouls fall where they may and just kind of have some fun, especially with the score what it is.
Just trying to keep that clock running at this point in time.
Just out of the reach there, so Monmouth ball.
I think we're at the point in the game where we need a heavy dose of LeAnthony Reason over handoffs.
Yeah. So he got dinged up in the game last Saturday, but according to reports, he is all good for the off season.
Yeah, I think he just got banged up and sore, and it's the best defense we played all year. They were number 1 in the country defensively for a reason. It's a great experience for our guys, and an opportunity to play in the NCAA playoffs for the first time in school history was really exciting. To see the outpouring of support we've had through that, not only from the local media I mentioned earlier, but alumni reaching out. Has been second to none. We had a tremendous following up there.
Yeah.
Several hundred, I would say maybe 200 to 300 people came up to watch that game and support Eureka, which was exciting. Figure a 7.5-hour trip to Minneapolis, St. Paul, yeah.
So I know that we're talking basketball, but I think it's official now. Okay. We're just having the conversation, sorry, folks. It's 81-63 in favor of Eureka. 6.5 here to go. Football conference is that?
Yeah, we are officially members of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference now. Having finished off our time in the UMAC, we will join that new conference this upcoming season.
What are your thoughts as far as, like, it saves travel money?
It's tremendous for us that we don't have any more 7 to 10 hour trips up to Minneapolis. That's Renault with another bucket to go up 85-63, but we don't have any of those long trips. We'll probably only have about one overnight trip a year now, which is real good for missed class time and budgets, obviously. It also gives us a great recruiting advantage in the Chicago area where we need to find some football players and really use that to where we can find some other students and student athletes. Having more games in the Chicago and Milwaukee areas is important for us in our plan to move the athletic program and the college forward.
Yeah. Talk to me, though. Greenville, are they coming with us?
We are the only team leaving the UMAC, so the 4 southern schools will remain. Greenville, Iowa Wesleyan, West Min, and McMurray will remain in that UMAC conference. So
I know it's early, but are you going to try to, as AD, keep the rivalry with Greenville going?
From a football standpoint, we will no longer play them moving forward. Our additional non-conference game, we'll have 3 non-conference games moving forward. One will continue to be Knox in the Lincoln Bowl. That's tremendous for both of our schools.
Yes, that's.
Additionally, part of the contract between the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference and the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletics Association is for one non-conference kind of crossover game each year.
Okay.
So we'll play a Michigan team every year. And then our third non-conference game next year will be Iowa Wesleyan.
Okay.
And that'll be a night game, and then we're
night game here or
night game here, and then we're looking for 2019 now for non-conference and additional non-conference opponents.
So just kind of a football rundown because I know that's big news. Kind of those type of deals. You just get when you get the AD on the mic, you got to ask those questions. But 85-66 for just under 5 here to go. Haley Renault now has, let me see, 38 points. They might get to 100.
I just got a nice tweet from Lee Anthony sending home. Reason over watching. He really liked that "dance with the lady that brought you" quote. Just always trying to educate Lee Anthony out there. Great young man.
Gotta love it. Crowd didn't like that.
There you go.
They like to swing it here. And they get it. Red Devils still shooting just under 50% from the field. That'll take down a little bit, but not much. Ooh, I don't know if she made contact there, but
It's the classic arm swing. Anytime you swing for a block, they're almost always going to call it.
close to a volleyball spike.
That's correct.
With the long distance finger roll, no good. And that's a foul. On red 20, that is Demi Johnson with her second. So one more, and they're in the bonus. Or Eureka College is in the double bonus. Long three, top of the key, no good. Haley likes that long distance finger roll thing from the baseline there. I'm noticing. Wide open, but dumps it off down low.
Back easy, Red.
17-point lead now for the Red Devils, 87-70. And gets the call. Unlikely that they get to triples, but it could happen. One to two. That puts the Red Devils at 20 for 26 from the line. 21 for 27. So we'll see the instant stats climb up here. Long three, good. That
three is by Stephanie Williams from Tremont, Illinois. You have the entire Tremont High School team and junior high team out here tonight. So I knew the crowd that got a little bit excited. I knew there was a reason.
Yeah.
Just under three, it's 89-73 Eureka.
So we'll see what happens. And with those 2 points, free throws, Haley Renault has officially reached 40 per the good old Eureka Game Day stats.
The last person to hit 40 for Eureka was Katie Eaton back on December 17th against Westminster College, 2013.
At this point, that's two. And Ellie Broyles getting into the action here on the next dead ball. And Coach Arbogast takes the... So it's a sub timeout. Get some fresh bodies in there. So, if you joined us late, you've really kind of missed an offensive show from Eureka. Haley Renault, just over 40 points. Or right at 40.
Right at 40, I believe, yeah. 41.
And the percentages, let me look at it so I'm not. 50% from the field, that's going to get you, that's going to win you a game most times. And then free throws, 77% free throws. In a game called this tight, it's vitally important that you spend a big portion of practice time on free throws. It's kind of boring sitting in the gym, but it's these kind of games that it'll put you over and beyond the competition. So, right at a minute, we hope that you join us for the
I'm sure he knows to stop it. He knows to stop it. Okay, never mind. He knows.
Great work. That's our incomparable clock crew coming in to stop the clock there. Perfectly done.
Yeah. So, we ask and invite you to stay with us for the second half of the doubleheader tonight, which happens a lot, but it's kind of unique. You have three different schools since you had the JV game with Lincoln earlier. Is that right?
Lincoln College.
Yep. So triple header. If you watched Lincoln's broadcast, I'd pass those guys.
Triple header with all three different teams.
Yeah.
Our league playing double headers, but not traditionally in the non-conference slate of schedules.
So, if you're looking for a reason to watch the late game, Shay Feehan is looking for his 1,000 point in 40 games, I heard earlier, as the rebound to no good. Can they get the last shot? And after a full 4 quarters, it's Eureka College 91, Monmouth 78. Nathan Schurz with Steve Thompson. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure. No, we really didn't talk about the game much in the second half, but hey, you're up to date on all Eureka College athletic news. So
thanks for letting me hang out.
No, thanks for being here, sir. Again, we ask that you stay tuned for the late game between the Robert Morris Eagles, I do believe.
Yep, Peoria Eagles, yep.
And your Eureka Red Devils as Shafee and looks for his journey for 1,000. Again, Nathan Schurz for Steve Thompson saying thank you and see you in a bit. We'll be back at 25-ish minutes, I'm going to say. So, again, 78-91, your Eureka Red Devils top it in their home opener. Thank you.